Engaging in friendly or formal argument is an ancient art. These days, you can match wits in a regular backyard spa or as part of an organized debate. Whether you're debating spontaneously or as part of in a team or going at it solo, it can be helpful to learn some of the popular formal and informal strategies and formats of debate. Start a debate by asking questions. By probing with questions, you can gradually reveal an argument. Since you're not engaging in a formal debate, you don't really know what side of the argument the other person is going to take, or what they necessarily believe in. Ask questions to narrow things down. To get a sense of someone's interests and expertise, probe them with a detailed question like, "So do you believe that the gap in the fossil record says anything serious about Darwinism?" Ask directly for their opinion. "So what's your position when it comes to affirmative action?" Understand the other person's position. Ask them to clarify any confusing areas. Nobody's worldview is perfectly coherent, but it's hard to debate someone when they're all over the place. Try to gently get them to adhere to one line of arguments that are more or less consistent. If you're not sure about what their argument is, help them out in a non-threatening way. "So, if I understand what you're saying, you mean that the penny should be abolished because it costs more than a penny to produce a penny?" Introduce your counter-argument. After you've respectfully echoed what they say, introduce your counter-argument. Explain the gist of what you believe and how it runs contrary to their argument. Try to think of an idea as solid as theirs is. Don't just say they are wrong. Think of a thing you can really argue for that is itself a solid belief. For example, if they say the government should give tax breaks to hybrid car owners, don't just say, "What I believe is that you're wrong and that's a terrible idea." Instead, counter their idea with another, "I think the government should focus on building citywide transits better for the environment if we dismantle car culture altogether." Offer examples along with your thesis for why you hold a particular belief. Offer rebuttals to the other person's argument. After you have stated your counterargument, try to rebut their argument with supporting arguments, as well as evidence that supports those arguments. Does it really make sense to say that any form of government, municipal, state, or federal, should legislate sexual morality? It's not a question of could they're more than capable of doing it. It's more a question of whether it's right for them to say how we should treat our own bodies in the privacy of our own home. Where does it stop if we let them get a foot in the door? Respond to any of the other person's rebuttals. More than likely, the other person you're debating will take issue with some of the things you are saying. Remember their rebuttals and tackle them when the other person has finished speaking. Because this is an informal setting, you won't be taking notes as you go. Use more casual methods to remember your friend's points. For example, you might keep track on your fingers of the number of points you want to address. Fold down one finger for each point and release one when you have rebutted a point. If that doesn't work for you, just ask your friend to remind you what they said. They'll enjoy repeating it. Spot logical fallacies. When someone makes an argument that isn't sound in structure, catch it and gently correct it. Common logical fallacies include slippery slope arguments, circular reasoning, and ad hominem attacks. Suppose your interlocutor says, "If we let war refugees into our country, then pretty soon we'll have to let anyone suffering a man-made disaster into our country, and then we'll have to let in anyone suffering a natural disaster, and then we'll have to let in anyone who is suffering in any way at all, and then our country will be completely overwhelmed." You might respond, "I understand the concern, but I think there's a flaw in your logic. One thing doesn't necessarily lead to another. Saying so is a slippery slope fallacy." Be laid back about it. Don't pursue a topic your friend or acquaintance doesn't want to pursue. If you are both enjoying the debate, be sure to express friendliness and stay relaxed throughout. It pays to be nice to the other person, even if you're debating them. Don't hog the conversation. It's an informal debate, which should mean a free-flowing exchange of ideas, not you rambling on and on about why you're right and they're wrong. Assume the other person means ill. They might misspeak, or the debate could get unintentionally heated. It's best to assume that the other person is coming at the debate expecting only some friendly verbal sparring and isn't out to hurt you. Raise your voice or let things get heated. Try not to get so wrapped up in the debate that you lose your cool. A debate should be civilized and enlightening, not a lesson in browbeating. Don't rehash the same arguments over and over again. Some debates come full circle and then keep on going because neither party is willing to admit defeat. If you become involved in a debate that never ends, don't push it. Just say, I respect your opinion. I don't agree with you, but maybe I will in the future. Give me a little bit of time to think it over. Wrap things up amicably. No one will want to debate you if you're a sore loser or if you refuse to treat your sparring partner with respect. However heated the debate might have been, try to be friendly as you wrap things up. You may disagree with someone, but that doesn't mean you can't be friends.